My trip to the Galapagos began with a flight from Guayaquil to Gibraltar. A water taxi and subsequent bus ride took me to the town of Puerto Ayora on Santa Cruz Island, where I took in some local sights and spent a day and a half negotiating for the best deal on a cruise. My cruise was to start from San Cristobal Island, so a nerve-shattering hell ride on a small boat was necessary. The sea lions there were awesome. During the first night of the cruise, we sailed to Hispaniola Island. Here we saw wave albatrosses with chicks. Blue-footed boobies with chicks. Marine iguanas. And of course some really awesome sea lions. We also witnessed the first of many spectacular sunsets. Overnight, the Millennium cruised from Hispaniola to Floriana Island. We made a wet landing at Catamaran. The main attraction at Catamaran were the many pink flamingos who eat tiny shrimp in the lagoon. We spent the latter half of the morning snorkeling with sea turtles. Later in the day, we visited Post Office Bay, where a tradition of sending letters back home continues today. Later in the afternoon, we transited to Santa Cruz Island. During the trip, we were fortunate to see some wonderful dolphin acrobatics. On Santa Cruz Island, we visited the highlands and witnessed the iconic giant tortoises of the Galapagos. That evening, a short transit took us from Santa Cruz to Santa Fe Island. On Santa Fe Island, we saw several land iguanas, As with many of the islands, there were also lava lizards and many species of birds. And of course, we saw sea lions. White-tip reef sharks added an element of excitement to the day's snorkeling adventure. The next day we visited Rabbit Island, where the highlight was swimming with penguins. We then continued on to James Bay on Santiago Island. The frigate bird hitched a ride. Marine iguanas exist nowhere else on Earth. These iguanas have developed the ability to dive to extreme depths for food. They've also developed a peculiar ability to expel all the extra salt that they take in from being in the ocean. Let's see that again, in slow motion. Today we also saw many interesting things in the tidal pools. Oh, and I think there may have been some sea lions. Next was a transit to the iconic Bartolomé Island.
You guys gotta see this shit! Otras imágenes aparecen luego, de esos momentos de aquí y de allá.
pero desaparecen inmediatamente tragadas por el
As if the
ruido
beautiful
de la
scenery
basura
wasn't enough,
eléctrica.
today was another day of swimming with sharks, sea lions, and penguins.
Una vez más, el sueño no vino.
Frigates are interesting in that they are a seabird, but their feathers aren't waterproof.
Porque yo,
Therefore, they have to steal food.
definitivamente hoy no.
In short,
Que la primera-
they are kleptoparasitic.
que hoy no. Que la primera vez no me abandonó esta vez.
And just like that, a baby boobie loses its dinner.
¿Por qué mi
Meh, a sea lion.
propia fuerza no basta para
And
mantenerme erguida?
the end is normally easy.
On my last night aboard the Millennium, I attended a final informative briefing about the next day's activities and enjoyed yet another delicious dinner with my cruise mates.
Que nunca me abandonen.
That night we sailed to Isla Lobos, or Sea Lion Island.
Noche no. Que estoy harta de vacilar.
A short cruise took me back to San Cristobal Island, where I said goodbye to the Millennium and to the Galapagos before boarding an airplane for mainland Ecuador.
Mortales y yo vivo en el limbo, donde no se sufre, no se siente, no se goza, solo se observa y se calla. ¿Por qué yo?